What about cryptocurrencies? Are you a believer in cryptocurrencies?
No, I'm not a believer in cryptocurrencies. And I would say that cryptocurrencies are a bubble. And I would describe cryptocurrencies as a limited supply of nothing. So to the extent there's more demand than the limited supply, the price would go up. But to the extent the demand falls, then the price would go down. There's no intrinsic value to any of the cryptocurrencies except that there's a limited amount.
Well, based on what you've just said, why would you not put a big short of some type on cryptocurrencies? Or maybe you have, but do you think that's a good short?
Well, when we looked for these subprime, the reason why we shorted the subprime in size because it was asymmetrical. You're shorting a bond at par that has a limited duration that trades at a 1% spread of treasury. So you can't lose more than the spread in the duration. Yet if it defaults, you can make the par amount. In crypto, there's unlimited downside. So even though I could be right over the long term, in the short term, as the case of Bitcoin, went from 5,000 to 45,000, I would be wiped out on the short side. So it's just too volatile to short.
What about the SPAC market? Do you think that's a bubble waiting to burst?
I don't think it's quite a bubble, but it's clearly shows elements of a frothy market. There's just too much liquidity. So I would say the SPAC market is overvalued, that people that invest in SPACs in general, on average, will be a losing proposition.
In your view, to be a good investor, what are the qualities? Is it hard work, some luck, good contacts? What are the qualities that make a good investor and the kind of investor you have been doing?
Well, you definitely need a lot of training. So, there's a lot of issues to understand from a legal, investing, business standpoint. Before you start investing, you really need a lot of experience. And depending on the type of investing, depends on the type of experience. So someone like in risk arbitrage or private equity, probably the best place to start is mergers and acquisitions. We become familiar with valuations and merger agreements and takeover laws, and then you could apply that later on to purchasing companies on your own behalf or trading in the securities of companies undergoing mergers.
When you became famous, I assume a lot of young people wanted to work for you, and I assume they still do. Who were you looking for when you hired them? High IQ, hard work ethic, good backgrounds, good schooling. What would be the thing that you would look for when you're hiring somebody?
I would say all of the above. You definitely, and the schools are essentially a funnel to select the best people. So we would go to the best schools and then look for the brightest people, because the brightest people will solve all problems. In addition to that, you need people that have an agreeable personality that won't be disruptive to the organization. But I would think we'd want to go to the best schools and hire the brightest people.